A very good evening once again. Thank you for joining us for the 10 o'clock edition of the UBC News Tonight. My name is Wadulo Mark Arnold, and I'm going to be taking you for the next 30 minutes, so do sit tight as we give you the news. In our top story, President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni has rallied the people of West Nile to tap into the emerging investments to transform their socio-economic well-being. While commissioning the Kole Nebi Arua substation, the president reiterated on the immense economic opportunities surrounding the connection of the West Nile to the national electricity transmission grid.
President Yoweri Museveni has commissioned the Kole Nebi Arua 132 kV transmission line, which connects the West Nile and northern Uganda to the national electricity transmission grid. President highlighted on reasons for the delayed electricity delivery.
Apart from the problem of generation, there was the problem of consumption in West Nile. There was power up to Kole on the other side, Kole in Lango, where then the line goes north to Gulu. That line was a 33 kV with a weaker current. The demand in West Nile was 2 megawatts or less. So the problem was the 33 kV cannot push power from Kole to West Nile. The distance is too long. That was the other problem also.
The president rallied the people of West Nile to embrace the factor of production towards socio-economic transformation. West Nilers are urged to be hospitable to investors in support of industrialization.
So that people don't have to come looking for land, begging, all that, wasting people's time. These people have got other places to go. If you don't handle them well, they go to other places. Uganda is not the only place on earth. So the leaders get some land where there is an industrial park, then it may move quickly to consume the 90 megawatts.
Museveni reiterated on the contribution of electricity towards accelerating the productivity of other government development programs like Emyoga, Parish Development Model, among others.
We are working also on the nuclear power stations. 2 of them, one by Russia, another one by South Korea, will produce, I think, a total of 15,000.
Uganda Electricity Transmission Company is the government agency that is implementing the project, which has so far costed the government about $100 million.
It will also increase the bulk supply capacity and allow for the evacuation of the Karuma plant. There is a benefit of socio-economic transformation within the region and, of course, regional trade.
The commission project will enable the evacuation of electricity from the Karuma, Agago, Achua, Nyagak 1 and Nyagak 3 power projects to meet the region's unserved demand.
The people, the youth who have been redundant are going to get jobs. Some already got jobs. He went ahead to say that there is new technology. This chairman, LOC1 of this place, realized that these projects come with technology transfer, job creation, and I thought I should recognize him.
The people of West Nile commend government for the development saving the community from the erratic and unreliable power supply. The development, among others, is expected to create more job opportunities to young people in the region.
The pathetic unemployment in West Nile, the youth unemployment, because this is stable and industrial reliable electricity, which is likely to give opportunity to have processing plants, to have factories, and those factories can accommodate manual laborers, semi-skilled laborers, and skilled laborers. This is why I think it is a fundamental change.
The project is financed by the World Bank through the International Development Association, and its objective is to improve the availability and efficiency of bulk electricity supply in the project area. It covers about 289 kilometers with the main objective of reinforcing power supply to the West Nile region as well as connecting the West Nile to the national grid. Dennis Igor and Abdul Nasir Uwama for UBC News in the West Nile region.
President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni has called upon the people of Nebi to embrace government development programs intended to improve household incomes. The president was officiating the Thanksgiving of the State Minister for Minerals, Fiona Nyamutoro, for her appointment as a minister. Mr. Museveni commends the mobilization skills of Nyamutoro towards the implementation of the NRM transformation agenda.
State Minister for Minerals, Fiona Nyamutoro, hosted President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni at Nebi Town Secondary School playground in Nebi Town for a special Thanksgiving upon her appointment as the Minister for Minerals.
That's how we have been building the NRM for the last 60 years. We always identify talent, commitment, and devotion. That's how we have been building, if you look at generation after generation.
President Museveni commended Minister Nyamutoro for mobilizing people of Nebi towards the NRM development and transformation programs. Museveni urged the youth to focus on wealth creation-initiated programs than propagating divisive politics.
They will now be forced to answer. We hear there is PDM money. How many people in our parish have got PDM? Then how about Nyoga? You don't have to fight or to quarrel, but you demand. You kubanja. Omake banje. You use the power you have, LOC system, to demand what belongs to you.
President Museveni says the strategy of appointing young people into cabinet intends to build capacity in the dynamic political environment.
Simply say, all I want is a committed NRM cadre. Although I could see Nyamutoro was a good cadre, but I could not impose her on the NRM structures. I had to wait for the NRM structures to say, oh, this is the one. Then I support her against the opposition. You the leader, you should not take sides among your children.
State Minister for Minerals, Fiona Nyamutoro, applauded the President for the appointment and commits her full commitment towards NRM mobilization strategy, particularly those intending to change lives of young people.
We shall always continue to support you all the way and always count on our undivided loyalty and support towards a better Uganda that we live and want to see every day. Now that both production and supply are guaranteed, we look forward to fast-tracking the construction of the Goli-Vura Road to ease market accessibility, and then the cycle to fully drive development in the region will be complete.
Nyamutoro commends government for development programs intended to transform people's lives in Nebi and commits to demand for other outstanding programs.
Achieve this vision by starting a fight against a negative mindset of politics of identity. We intend to promote unity of purpose and issue-based leadership that directly speaks to changing lives. Mzee, this mission is basically anchored on improving three aspects: education, health, and entrepreneurship.
Local government officials highlighted some outstanding government projects and appealed to the President for expeditious intervention.
This celebration in 2012, our people requested you, especially Catholic sister requested you for a solar system for a school called Providence, which is a skilling center. To date, you have not received. And also, at the same time, during the coronation of our Obimo, that is the King of Alur, in 2010, where you came, you promised us that you will construct for our king a palace. Up to date, it's not constructed.
NRM Secretary General Richard Todwong expressed optimism over the growing NRM support in the region, which is attributed to the party's effective manifesto implementation.
We are aware of the promise we made of the road that connects Pakwach, Wadilai, Ubongi, Moyo. We know in your hands all these roads will be covered. Now that we have covered electricity, we are concentrating in household income, we know all these investments will be brought to West Nile.
President Museveni urged the youth to utilize the decentralized system of governance to demand services from local government administrators.
We recognize the
Furthermore, Vice President of Uganda Jessica Alupo has called for unity among Africans that share the Nile in order to achieve shared development. This was during the 32nd Nile Basin Initiative Council of Ministers meeting in Kampala, where she called upon Egypt to resume its participation in the Nile Basin activities.
The Vice President of the Republic of Uganda.
While officiating the 32nd Annual Nile Council of Ministers meeting that accommodated ministers from the riparian states, Vice President of Uganda, retired Major General Jessica Alupo, called upon Nile Basin states to be drawn more to factors that unite them than those dividing them.
Riverbanks are becoming increasingly under pressure from expanding economic activities and lack of effective cross-border mechanisms for protection, restoration, and sustainable utilization of these ecosystems. The challenges the Nile Basin is facing require collective action by all the Nile Basin states, since many of these challenges cut across country boundaries. I wish to call upon Egypt, that froze its participation in the Nile Basin Initiative activities, to resume its participation in order to provide an opportunity to discuss her concerns and find ways of effectively resolving any pending issues.
I believe that these engagements will result in more support to the Nile Basin Initiative, and we plan to continue these engagements at the country, regional, and the international levels through various avenues.
Equitable utilization of the Nile water resources by the riparian states was pointed out as a vital move towards economic development.
Kenya, having almost half of its water resources within the Lake Victoria Basin, considers Nile Basin as a region of strategic importance in terms of meeting its water demands and improving livelihoods through regional integration.
Strategy in South Sudan is now geared toward water, energy, and food security, water resources development and management with robust climate-resilient water infrastructures.
The ministers' meeting resolved that Uganda, who is the current chair, is to continue chairing till June 2025.
The majority of the meetings changed, so we want to bring them back to the regular schedule. So Uganda now will be chairing for about 1 year and a half, but ideally the country should be chairing for 1 year. I received the work plan and the budget, about $10 million for the Nile Basin Initiative for the next 1 year, and this money is going to do a number of things.
The Heads of State Summit is to happen in Uganda if approved by the President of the Republic of Uganda, Marion Awori, for UBC.
And furthermore, President Museveni has urged the Bama Saba and other cultural leaders to jealously protect and safeguard their cultural institutions so as to foster peace, unity and development amongst themselves. In his message, read for him by the State Minister for Foreign Affairs, John Mulimba, the President emphasized that although the NRM government reinstated cultural institutions, there is need to eliminate backward cultural practices that infringe on freedoms of other people.
In his message to the Bamasaba during the official launch of the Imbalu circumcision at Mutoto Cultural Ground in Bali City, read for him by the State Minister for Foreign Affairs, John Mulimba, President Museveni urged them to safeguard their norms so as to foster unity and development among themselves.
I'm always filled with joy, and when I see the people happy, displaying their unique culture and African traditional treasures. This has always been the agenda and distinguished value of NRM government. This milestone should be safeguarded for the meaningful cultural development of the African values and positive traditional practices.
The president also underscored the need to eliminate the bad cultural practices like female genital mutilation, wives' inheritance, among others.
Some are relevant today, while others are irrelevant in modern times. Backward cultural practices like female genital mutilation, cattle rustling should be eliminated.
Imbalu circumcision is an event where Bamasaba initiates their boy children to manhood. This year's event has been celebrated under the theme of conserving the environment. The cultural leaders that included His Highness Engineer Michael Dongo from Lango underscored the need for youths to prioritize environmental conservation.
Landslides have been prevalent. Flash floods have led to loss of homes, of lives, of livestock. The key message that should accompany their initiation, young as they are, they should learn to value the wealth that land and environment affords to all of us, to them. And it's only living responsibly with the environment.
The youth should be law-abiding citizens. We're also doing the campaign of drink responsibly. And we're also doing a campaign of avoid using toxic drugs.
The achievements that one who gets after getting circumcised, he enters the status of manhood.
The function attracted a number of Africa's cultural leaders from Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, and others who lauded President Museveni for fostering peace that has led to unity among cultural institutions. The Bamasaba expressed their feeling about the event.
When you clock the age of 15 and above, you have to be initiated into our culture of men, and that is Imbalu. So that is the essence of this day.
Today I'm so happy because we are still keeping the date of our ancestors' circumcision, because for us we believe that circumcision is the date that was given to us from our ancestors from long ago.
And furthermore, Rotary E-Club of Naguru has targeted planting over 10,000 trees in Karamoja sub-region. Out of 10,000 fruits and other types of trees, 1,400 fruit trees have been planted at Moroto Region Referral Hospital and Moroto Municipality to address malnutrition and mitigate climate change.
Karamoja sub-region has the highest malnutrition prevalence rate across the country at 11.3% and the highest mortality rate. This is caused by poor feeding due to prolonged drought and insecurity in the region.
Maternal mortality ratio, which is almost 600. That's 580 100,000 live births. Child mortality ratio rate, which is also high in this region.
The outgoing Bishop of Karamoja Diocese, Right Reverend Joseph Abura, attributed to the highest malnutrition prevalence rate to insecurity.
Of insecurity. If you have peace, there will be cows or animals. I know when it is hot, these crops dry out. But animals can be moved from one place to another where there is grass.
It is against this background that the Rotary E-Club of Naguru started a fruit and other ordinary tree planting campaign in the region.
We shall be celebrating 100 years of Rotary in Uganda. So in celebration of, in Africa, in celebration of their 100 years, the district 9213 and 9214 decided that we do something we call planting our balance. What is planting our balance? We are planting trees.
The Rotarians might have another leg in championing for peace in Karamoja. And if they are interested in nutrition of the children and everybody else, peace must be doctored by all of us.
Rotary E-Club Naguru on Saturday planted 1,000 fruit trees at Moroto Regional Referral Hospital and 200 tree types in Moroto Municipality.
Moroto, yes, definitely. We have a target of close to 10,000 trees. So given what we have gotten here today, 1,400, we have a balance of 8,600 that we shall be going to plant in other places of the country.
I also want to appeal the stakeholders that are here. We need to enroll these things up to the sub-county level.
This activity does not only end here, but will also flow down to the other various hospitals and health facilities in our region, Karamoja. We improve on what the sector has already communicated.
Not only to plant trees, but to ensure their survival and continuously maintaining and supervising them. And this responsibility lies with everyone here.
This is part of the preparations to commemorate 100 years of Rotary. Moriniga compiled this story for UBC News.
Uganda's digital transformation journey is being jeopardized by significant cybersecurity risks and unreliable software. Speaking to UBC's Abdul Nasir Luwama, stakeholders highlighted gaps in the existing regulations and policies that are meant to guide the nation's digital transformation agenda. Let's have a feature report by Abdul Nasir Luwama.
The software industry in Uganda is still in its startup phase, largely due to limited expertise and inadequate funding to develop sophisticated softwares required in the growing economy.
Working on a startup policy where, through the Ministry of Trade, where that policy will eventually come up with guidelines on how people should fit within the ecosystem.
Finding talented software developers is challenging, partly because of the emphasis on formal education requirements. Many aspiring young developers lack proper guidance on navigating the education system effectively.
The whole mindset issue of that I can get a skill that does not lead to a degree is still a big challenge in our community. And yet the developed world has really moved on. Here people ask questions, will it give me a degree? Will I get a diploma? So people are still stuck in the traditional approach to education.
To address this, the factory has emerged as a significant center for nurturing the software talent without stringent educational prerequisites.
There was also a demand for machine learning and artificial intelligence engineers. I can tell you now we have a program that is focused on that. So our program design is not based on wish. Our program design is largely informed by what is industry looking for in terms of human capital.
However, poorly guided software development has led to issues such as cyberbullying and exploitation through malicious applications.
As people build software, they need to understand that if you're building a software that requires me to input my data, that software needs also to let me know what you're going to use that data for. And if there's a data breach, I can sue you.
Some unscrupulous software developers have come up with techniques of extorting using applications developed.
Attackers publish their malicious software. So maybe someone has developed an app or they've developed malicious software, they will create a link that you click and then it will execute on your computer. Okay? So be very careful before you click a link.
Some developers have resorted to unethical practices such as extortion through their applications.
Now, the bad actors or the threat actors are also there. Just like you have people who are waking up every day to go and make an honest living, there's another group of people who wake up every morning to make a dishonest living. So, you know, thieves, you know, chifesi and whatnot. So even in cybersecurity, it's the same thing.
The industry's vulnerability is exacerbated by human factors, including simplicity, greed, and limited knowledge of digital security, which have impacted financial institutions significantly.
Lack of knowledge. Some of them are naive. 2, it's their greed. You receive an email which says, if you want to get a free phone, click here. No one is really going to give you a free phone.
The Ministry of ICT and National Guidance is working on expanding internet infrastructure, which is crucial for advancing the digitization agenda.
We are ensuring that we have internet spread out through the entire country so that anywhere you go, you can be able to get internet. That is a journey we are now walking. As government, our role is to create an enabling environment. Do the road for you so that when you come and move your car. So internet is like the road. We are building that. We are setting up innovation hubs where people can sit and think and grow their ideas.
Talented software developers are expected to broaden Uganda's job market, with business process outsourcing offering opportunities to work internationally without physical presence. Trust in online services remains a concern, with infrastructure operators recognizing the implications, but public awareness still limited to combat exploitation effectively. Abdul Nasir Lubwama for UBC.
MTN tusako Hajaruna Mbiru live in concert Friday nga mwenda August. Hajaruna Mbiru huyo kusenda hotel Rockta nunga mwenda August. Monshoja atumia Hajaruna Mbiru live in concert VIP ya mtwalo 15 tukawa jigula kumomo ya mtwalo 10 hatemeze ya milioni 3 niga kamunyenye emo mkaga 5 kamunyenye 20 kadara oba downloading ya momo app wagule ticket ku sente ntono nga 10 August tolini hotel mukono ticket ya shinjo mtwalo gumu bo jigula ngo kosa momo jigula 15 VIP mtwalo 3 nga 10 August Maria Frema Saka shinje mtwalo 2 bo jigula ngo kosa momo ya mtwalo gumu VIP mtwalo 5 ate momo mtwalo 3 n'ekitundu bitegekedwa keti events wawulone biwagirwa.
MTN. Together, we're unstoppable.
It's true what people say, that when I wash and you wash your hands with soap, we'll have less infections as Ugandans. After all, it's hands that handle money. It's hands that feed us. Hands that prepare soil for farming. Hands that we use to learn, and hands that we use for fun.
When I wash and you wash, it means clean hands for all. So, wash your hands with soap and clean water regularly to keep away infections and disease-causing germs. This message is from the National Hand Washing Secretariat with support from UNICEF.
You used to tell me that I don't make you happy. All that time you would be complaining. I'll call you every day, yeah yo, baby dondolo.
You can now get all the Chibuzi out with MTN voice bundles. Call all networks, Kubei Dondoro. Buy a 25-minute voice bundle for only 1,000 or buy any daily voice bundle of your choice. Dial *100 *21 hash and select daily or use the My MTN app. When we talk together, we are unstoppable.
Welcome back. You're still watching the UBC News Tonight, broadcasting live from Nile Avenue. Now, in the world of sports, Uganda's ambassador to France, Her Excellency Doreen Amule, has hosted Uganda's Olympics team to a luncheon at which Ugandans in France lit up the occasion. We have some of the highlights.
Joshua Cheptegei was the highlight during Team Uganda's visit to Ambassador Doreen Amule's residence in Trocadero in Paris.
I want to thank God for always making Uganda in our little way shine, even where nobody would think that we shall shine.
It was an occasion many used to hear from Joshua just a day after his 10,000-meter gold medal at the Olympics in a record 26:43:13 time.
If I'm really correct, this is one of my, the most special race ever in my life, because
the most special race ever in your life?
Yeah, in terms of course, when you look at the quality of the competitors, it was really super world class, whereby 13 people were finishing under 26, under 27, and then it had incredible guys who have really put the mark up there, and also in terms of the stadium, it was incredible, over 80,000 people and cheering, and the stadium was really going wild and wild and wild.
Cheptegei acknowledged his journey on the track since 2014 that has been littered with trouble amidst the successes, and hinted at his future plans.
About the 5K now, because I don't know whether he's going to do 5K or whether I'm going to do 5K or I'm not going to do. I cannot speak about that now. For now, it's about getting best recovered. Especially coming into this race, it's been a lot of mental, trying to think about the Olympic Games, and now it's time to recover.
The occasion was graced by the State Minister for Sports, Peter Ogwang, and Government Chief Whip, Hamson Obua.
Fellow countrymen and women, yesterday the world witnessed part of sports made in Uganda.
Uganda has 25 athletes at the Paris 2024 Olympics, with a gold medal by Joshua to its name, and many more events still to come. In some of the action this Saturday, Halima Nakai has exited the 800 meters, while Charles Kajimo finished 77th in the road race, attaining a milestone that erased the did not finish achieved by Ernest Bure and Mahmoud Mukasa in 1984.
Well, thank you for being a part of the UBC News Tonight at 10 o'clock. My name is Wadulo Mark Arnold. Thank you very much. We can't thank you anymore for, watching the National Broadcasting News. Otherwise, allow me to thank my team behind the scenes. Thank you, Jimmy. Thank you, Perdita, and the rest. Good night.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.